Good evening. Thank you for choosing Graps TV and the Sicko Show. I'm your host, the Matty Man. We're still waiting on New Japan to load up this show here. We're sitting here right now at the Strong Style Splash page, and we're just chilling out. And we're waiting. In the meanwhile, I just got some extra information here. We got some match results from last night. Of course, we already knew about them, but hey, I figured I'd take a moment here while we're waiting on the show to load. Let's take a look and see what's going on from last night here. We covered Saturday night's main event. Basically in a review stream, had quite a few people there. Thank you very much for showing up. We always appreciate plenty of visitors. Just like we're going to appreciate that tonight if we actually wind up with that as well. Obviously, we're just going to sit back, chill out, have a good time, enjoy, and go from there because we got a big night of wrestling ahead of us here. But just so we know, we did Collision last night. I'm going to give you the match base or the match results on that, just in case you didn't see it. Willow Nightingale defeated Jamie Hayter in 12 minutes and 4 seconds in the opening match there for a Wrestle Dynasty International Women's Cup qualifier. Non-title Continental Classic 2024 Blue League match there. Kazuchika Okada defeats the Beast Mortos, puts him at 7. And then, of course, we had a singles match there. Toni Storm made her return to Collision, defeating Shazza McKenzie. Shazza McKenzie also on the radar for AEW for a signing, perhaps. Then we had a tag team match there. Action Andretti and Leo Rush defeating what's left of Top Flight, Dante Martin and Darius Martin. And Layla Gray kept them company for the night just so they could definitely, they definitely lost. And the show is starting to load right now, so we're going to get through these here, the rest of these pretty quick. Chris Statlander defeated Tootie Lynn, whoever that is. Sorry about that. Just don't even have any idea there. 10-man tag team match, the Outrunners, Daniel Garcia, Commander and Orange Cassidy with Alex Abrahantes, defeated the Varsity Athletes, which was Ari Davari, Josh Woods, Tony Nese, and the MXM Collection. Golly, I can talk. That would be Mansoor and Mason Madden, and Mark Sterling was side there for the ring, so we got that in there. Thinking about doing a review on that show probably maybe sometime tomorrow, not sure yet. But we're definitely sitting here waiting for the incoming signal here. We don't have one from the venue just yet, so I'm watching it sit and spin and waiting on it to load right now. Hope you guys aren't having that problem because that's interesting for me. Usually these things load right up. So we're getting started off on a weird tangent here. Let me go ahead and check and see what that was. Had a wonderful date today. Very happy. Definitely just relax now. Yeah, so I mean it's like still says no signal from the venue, so we are indeed sitting here waiting for the show to load, I'm guessing. Always always a fun time on a Sunday night with New Japan Pro Wrestling here. Strong Style evolved. Main thing I'm going to be focusing on tonight more than anything in the world is going to be the Mercedes Moné match. We got Mina Shirakawa. And come to find out, Anna Jay is going to be part of this show too. So we're definitely wanting to be there to support our AEW athletes. And, if WWE had athletes in this thing, I'd be supporting them too. And not to mention Viva Vaughn, my breakout star for next year. Okay, apparently we have a problem here. No signal from venue, so I'm guessing they're going to try again here in just a minute. Or maybe Triller TV has a problem. Who knows? We're watching live on Triller TV right now. And any noise you hear in the background will be Triller TV. You will not be able to see the actual video itself because I just got done dealing with a copyright strike, not going out to create another one. No. So Looks like we're going to have to kill some time here while we're waiting on New Japan Pro Wrestling to load. Let's see here. Let's go to resume. There we go. There we go. We got it to load now. There we go. And there we go again, waiting for an incoming signal. All right, all you guys with the janky links there, you know, hey. So, yep, we're noticing right now that the signal is, we're still waiting on that signal to come through there. So, let's see what we got. All right, Triller TV, we're just sitting here looking like idiots right now. Not saying that out loud too loud. But obviously, they're having streaming issues. Oh boy. Let me check and see what's going on here. Let me go to Fight TV and see what's happening. Okay. Well, let's see what's going on with Triller TV here. Let's see what's going on. See if they've got a message up. Let's see if they've got a match going on. All right. We're still sitting here waiting. Still sitting here waiting. I just wanted to get a message off to him to see if this thing's actually loading or not. Maybe it's just me. Is everybody else getting to see that? Is everybody else getting to see the event? Is the event loading for everybody else? Hey, we got 14 viewers in the house right now. Yeah. As I'm sitting here killing time, waiting for this thing to load. Watch as I kill time. All right, let me step out of this thing, come back in, and see if we can get it to load. Maybe I didn't do something right. Who knows? It says it's on air, but all I'm getting right now is no signal from the venue. All right, we're sitting here. I'm just waiting on a response from Triller at some point in time here. Let's see what we got here. right, still sitting there loading. And still sitting there loading. And it is 8:08 now, so I'm pretty sure that we've had a match by at this point. What in the world is going on here? Oh, whoops. So we're just sitting here watching it sit and spin. It says it's on the air, but apparently we're not getting it right now. Whoopsie. So, and anyway, thank you for 13 viewers. We're working on, I guess they're working on trying to get the stream up and running. So, do, 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 do. Mine isn't running at all. Okay. Let's just turn it flat off for a second here. Because I'm getting plenty of notification here. Apparently, Triller is the only one having a problem with it. So let's see if Triller's getting it loaded yet. So I stepped out, shut the TV down, came back in, opened up fresh interface. Yeah, mine says no signal from venue. Beautiful. All right, let's see here. We're going to do something a little bit differently. Well, all right, we're not seeing it here on my side just yet. And it looks like it just gave up again. Yeah, I'm having issues. Triller's having issues big time. Yeah, Yeah, no, I'm getting a message from everybody right now. Apparently, Triller's having issues with it. So, yeah. Yeah, so we can just sit here and talk, I guess. Wow. Well, at least it wasn't my stream this time. Gotta love that. Let's see here. Hmm. All right. And it says it's on the air. And of course, I'm guessing that if you actually paid for it, because a bunch of friends of mine who are, let's see if I can log it back in this way. Nope, still says no signal from venue, which is what I've already seen. Then it goes back to no signal from the venue again. Yep. Yeah, it goes right back to no signal from venue. Hey, Grega. John, how you doing, sir? We are still waiting on Triller to actually load, and apparently that is a problem for Triller. We were going to be watching New Japan's Strong Style. We're going to give it about, we'll give it about 20, 25 more minutes here. If they don't get it loaded and get it going, then I just expect they'll give me a refund or something like that. Or something to that effect. Unless they say, well, you got it for the rest of your life. You can always watch a playback of what? That's a good question. A playback of what? So, yeah. I'll go ahead and see here. Make sure I get a nice picture of no signal from venue. If I wasn't afraid Velvet Voice was actually working right now, I'd probably hit him up and say, hey man, the stream ain't hitting on Triller. Just a heads up. In fact, I think I'll do that so he knows about it because otherwise people are going to be wanting refunds on this shit. So, hang on a second here. I should probably say something. Mm. Do, 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 do. See here. Yep, we're still waiting for an incoming signal here. So apparently, we're going to give it a few more minutes here. And apparently, yeah. Apparently, Triller is not playing ball right now. I have no earthly idea, but I do know this one thing right now. I'm going to be right back in just a minute here. I got to make a phone call See if I can figure this out. We'll be right back. And we're back. I just wanted to send an email off quickly to Triller to let them know that the show is 21 minutes into it, and I've probably missed the first match already. And hey, it is what it is. So, anyway, if it ain't one thing, it's another, right? I mean, seriously. We've been kind of hanging out with everything, and we're going to give it about 10 more minutes. And I don't want to drag you away from anything else you might be doing because obviously it's not loading on Triller. And I would be providing zero to zero in impact to anything. So I'm going to let it roll for about 10 more minutes here. If we're still sitting at this rate in 10 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and kill it for the night. And we'll do a review or something like that once I've watched the show. We'll do a live review on New Japan's Pro Wrestling Strong Style Evolved. So, I mean, it is what it is. I understand how they work, and maybe, just maybe, we're having issues. Who knows? And I'm not going to grab one of these threads or something like that because I mean it's just not worth it, guys. It's not. I mean, some people can do that and it's fine, it's cool and all that. I tried to hit a link that somebody had said mine's working just fine, so I went over there and watched my computer do gymnastics for about 5 seconds, and that was enough for me. So I was like, nah, I think I'm going to chill out on it for right now. We're going to give it roughly about 8 more minutes. If at 8:30 we have not seen an actual match, I might just go ahead and kill the stream for the night and let it go because I don't want to keep people too long. Let's see what we got here. See if that's an actual answer. I don't have New Japan. There it goes. Here we go. There we go. Mina Shirakawa up on top right now, looking like she's getting ready to drop a bomb here. There we go. Bam! No, count of two, count of two. I don't even know who she's wrestling. Uh-oh. Fruit roll up. Not quite it. No, not enough to put me and Shirakawa away. Now I'm on the same page with everybody. Oh, hello. Oh, Mina driver picking up the 3 count. Mina Shirakawa got there just in time for that match right there. So that kind of just made it all worthwhile right there. The wait is always good. Triller's usually good about coming through. Once they realize they've got an issue, they usually are pretty quick about coming through with everything. Johnny Roddy goes down on the 3 count there. 1, 2, and 3. Mina Shirakawa covering over for the night here, and we're going to see what the next match is coming up. I don't even have a match list because we missed the opening part of it. I don't have any way to give you an idea of what's coming up. Mina signing an autograph for a fan. Strong Openweight Tag Team Championship coming up next. There we go, 14 viewers. I wasn't expecting a big stream. We're just trying to keep things family-like tonight. Just everybody chilling. I was actually doing the watch along when they became that. Pay per view is only 25 minutes in, Steven. The big match for me tonight, they're going to have Mercedes Monet, they're going to have Anna Jay. We just saw Mina Shirakawa. And I do believe, I haven't looked yet to see. I'm not sure if Zack Sabre made the drive out here at all, but we're getting grizzled young veterans defending their title next. Most of the card looked pretty strong. That's why I decided to go ahead and run a watch along for it. And that's why I decided to review the show. Of course, I missed the first 25 minutes, so I'm going to have to see if I can catch the first 25 minutes because I'd like to be able to review the whole show and not say, well, I'm doing a review, but I didn't come until Mina Shirakawa. So it is what it is. We got James Drake, Zach Gibson, I can talk, Royce Isaacs, Jorel Nelson, Michu John Tawaja. All right. Doesn't look like they have a packed house out there at Long Beach State, too. But that's okay. They look like they've got a pretty solid crowd here for the match, too. It's just one of those things where if it doesn't have the two W's and the E on it, it's hard these days to get a ticket sold. And by the way, I mean, to give, in all fairness to New Japan Pro Wrestling, AEW and WWE have been through there twice in the last month and a half. So it's probably hard to sell out a show like that in that scenario there because when you compete with WWE, compete with AEW, and I think even TNA's running a show out there too. So it's kind of hard. The big four, the big four, big five out there, depending on if you consider Stardom one of the big five, it gets kind of hard. Ticket money gets kind of sparse, gets kind of scarce after a while here. We're going to have the grizzled young veterans making their way out to the ring here in just a minute. But it really is hard to keep that kind of energy going for, because it gets real expensive. Yeah, I do. I do that every once in a while too, Stephen. I mean, except for recently where I've been doing review shows and watch alongs and things like that. I took about a month break from wrestling myself because mainly I had to work a little bit. But the other part of it too is exactly for the same reason. I mean, some of it gets monotonous, especially with WWE. Now, I like AEW, so it has its challenges, but for me, it has less challenges to it than WWE does. New Japan Pro has no challenges to me at all. I enjoy watching how they work these things. And the fact that they brought on English commentary too always helps out because my Chinese and Japanese are not that good. My Chinese is okay. My Japanese is weak, so it's kind of hard to keep up with them. But I mean, you can actually learn languages watching New Japan Pro Wrestling. So if wrestling is like the universal language, it's like music. You know, people don't have a problem understanding music. Wrestling fans don't have a problem understanding wrestling, and that's the beautiful part of it all. That's the main reason I'm still in it. But yeah, I understand that. I've burnt out myself a couple of times too. I get it. So apparently, grizzled young veterans are getting the business, so to speak, early in this match from the fans. We'll see how it goes, though. And of course, the Velvet voice himself and Veda Scott bringing you the commentary. Pretty good commentary too. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Couple of solid block attempts. They're not quite working. A couple solid tackle attempts that just ain't working. The hip drag, the arm drag worked pretty well. And then GYV just getting hit like a bag of bricks. My good lord. Yeah, Nelson and Drake just kind of going at it there right now. Let's see here. One and not an even enough for two. Mm-hmm. Good crisp tags from Grizzled Young Veterans too. I mean, they actually do fit the bill. I mean, they're an aptly named tag team. I will say that. They are a very they are a very aptly named tag team. That's a fact. That is an absolute fact right there. Swapping European uppercuts here so far. Mm-hmm. Yep, Snackmare takedown, and he's trying to get him over into his corner there, into grabbing the ropes. Crossface holding one, two. He's got till five. Yeah, he's got till the count of five to break it. Let's see what we come up with here. Ooh, that looks painful. Ooh, basement drop kick. Basement knee drive into the side. One, and still not even enough for two. Grizzled young veterans aren't going out like that, that's for sure. Let's see what we got here. Whoa! Exploder suplex right out of nowhere. That was actually a reasonable good display of strength, too. I got what he was trying to pull there, you know. I got it. Ooh, nice chain tandem wrestling there. Wow. That's right. James Drake was wrestling 24 hours ago. Bloodsport rules at GCW. Now he's live back over here. Hardest working man this week so far, James Drake. Drake definitely getting everybody off their game there. We just hit 20 viewers. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate you. Wow, that was loud. Have I got the stream going somewhere? Is that what that is? Let's turn that stuff down. All right. Good evening, Stampede. That's right. Round two. Yeah, thank you for joining the live review as well. I appreciate that. We're just kind of getting settled in here. Triller finally decided to let me watch the show after I sent him a message letting him know what I'm seeing. And 5-10 seconds later, well, it wasn't that quick, but I'd say within 5 minutes the show was on. I just came in on the end of the Mina Shirakawa match, so I'm surprised they had her doing the curtain jerking match. I thought that would go to somebody else, especially for the name power and the star power. I didn't think she'd be opening. I figured maybe this one here might be the opener. Who knows? So, mm, not going to hear me calling them by name tonight. We're just going to be chatting as it goes along because. Starting to pick up some crowd heat here now. Grizzled young veterans picking up the heat from the crowd here. The other part of it, too, is they're going to let them work a lot of match here, Steven. A lot of these matches are going to be 7, 8. I'm sorry, I can talk. 10, 12, 15 minutes average. That's why I'm kind of hunkered down for the long haul here because I got a feeling we're going to be here a lot tonight. I've got a feeling we're not getting done till 11 on the Eastern Standard Time there. I think we're going to go at least till 11 o'clock tonight. Looked like it. The card looked loaded enough to pull that off. So, yeah, and it looks like we're doing some rest moves. Yeah, that's right. It's what we're pulling out here tonight. Let's see what we got. Hang on a second. Trying to keep up with everything else, too, like the news. And from what I'm picking up, we may not get access to all of Mina Shirakawa's match. Yeah. Nelson coming in with a hot tag right now, trying to and single-handedly basically taking out the Grizzled veterans. So here we are. Let's see what we got here. Back to 20. Double chops. Yep, the West Coast Wrecking Crew and the Grizzled young veterans here. Double crossbody there by Nelson, and it looks like we might be trying to close this match out. I'm not 100% sure yet. I don't think they're trying to so soon. Mm-mm. Uh-oh. Isaac's with a hot tag coming out with the double clothesline there. Can't beat that. Whoa. There we go. Lariat over the top rope there. Apparently, Drake holding on to a guillotine headlock here. Ooh, nice combo move right there. Locking in the Goji clutch on top of all that. Yep. Might be. We're just picking in here now. We're coming in. We're coming in right now on Grizzled Young Veterans and the West Coast Wrecking Crew right now. You got a four-way match starting on your side? I don't know. I don't know. But now there again, Steven, I'm watching it on Triller. I don't know if you are or not. Oh, yeah, I see what you're talking about here now. There we go. I see what you're saying. Apparently, we had a little bit of a lag here. I apologize. 100 proof with a chair in hand, I'm presuming here. I apologize. Now we're up to Clark Connors. Mm-hmm. Tell you what, give me about 1 minute here while they're getting this started up. We'll be right back here. I want to make sure I'm right ahead on everything here, or at least I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'll be right back here in like 1 minute. Just stick with me here. Glad we got the 22 as well. And I'm back. Sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure I had everything straight. Now I'm up to the four-way match. Yeah, the fatal four-way here. Definitely trying to keep up with everybody here. You'll have to pardon me if I don't call these names out or stuff like that, because some of this stuff's a little bit. Like I said, I didn't get a match card, missed the first few minutes of it, missed the structure, missed everything, and didn't get my usual DM from somebody who normally DMs me the match order, so that I've got work to do here, you know. So basically, I'm going to be just watching it along with everybody else, calling a few of the shots as I see them, and that's pretty much how this stream's going to have to go. That would be correct. He's not lying. Fujita. Fujita. There's an interesting look you can't unsee again. So everybody in the stadium right now having a good time at Long Beach. Let's see here. There we go. Oh, wow. 24. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Certainly appreciate that. Kushida making his way down here, hopping up there to get the fan support here. One half of the tag champions. All right, so we're having the four-way match right now. One guy's just having a seat there, just kind of chilling out. This might have been a chance to. This might have been an opportunity to tarp a little bit here, but I get it. They don't care, and you know what? Frankly, we don't either. So let's just have a good time here and enjoy wrestling. I got a feeling this is definitely going to be a banger, so probably a cheat code looking at everybody in the ring right now. All right, and everybody's jumping on dude with a chair in his hand. Yeah, looks like Clark Connors just figured out everybody knows how to kick. There we go. Nice headbutt. All right. Looking pretty good so far. Pretty energetic. Big kick to the back. Just enough for one, not enough for even two right now. We're just getting started here. Uh oh. That's right. Whew. That's going to be a good match right there. Rocky Romero and Yo challenging West Coast Wrecking Crew. Yeah, that might be that might be a damn good match right there. Uh oh. Yep. It looks like this is going to be a pretty good, well paced match here. Yeah, I know. Yeah, those yeah, I noticed that. I'm gonna tell you something right now. TJ Perkins reminds me of a wrestler who's currently being canceled right now. He looks like him anyway. He looks an awful lot like Val Venus. Looks like he could be his kid just about. You know, he almost looks almost identical to him in the face when you look at it for that. I mean, it really is. I've got the card lineup, Steven. I know the card. I'm talking about this the match order. Do you have the match order handy? Because I usually get it by DM and I didn't get it. And then of course we came in late on the stream because Triller didn't even load for like the first 20 minutes. So there's a lot there that got missed. More importantly, the match order is what I was concerned with. Just sort of to get an idea of it. They usually put it out like in a like a long running GIF comment or something like that because them and AEW have taken to doing that here recently, and I think it's kind of cool to do it that way. But the problem with that inherently lies in the fact that it's just if you don't start the show until 25 minutes into the show, chances are we're going to miss all that. So I got a match card in front of me with all the matches, and what I'm doing is just striking them off as they go. That way, at least I'm keeping up with what we've already seen from that standpoint. And eventually, I'll be able to narrow it down to what's left based on what's. I can narrow down the match order based on what's left once we get down to the last two or three matches. So, not enough for three. Excuse me. Sorry. Can't decide whether I want to yawn or sneeze here tonight. We had a long night last night. Obviously, you know I missed all everything yesterday because I had audio issues. Turns out I had a blown board. Pause, and that was pretty much it. And so I got a new board this morning. Got everything up and running. Here we are. But I didn't get to sleep till about 3 o'clock in the morning. Then I said, you know what? Why the hell not? I already had all these match notes. Let's go ahead and do a review show. There won't be that many people there. I can go ahead and do it, get my chops back, kind of getting the feel for that. 70. Yeah, it's really good. And here we are again tonight for round two. Mm, wow. Nice. Now the crowd's starting to get into it. Now, see, this would have made a good opening match right here, too. Sometimes I'm just still amazed at how WWE loses some of these titles, loses some of these people here. Oh, there we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fujita, yeah, Fujita at 22, looking like he's looking right now. You're damn right, he's somebody to keep an eye on. I'm kind of hoping AEW picks him up. Not gonna lie. Whoo, one and two, and not enough for three as the pin count gets broken up. Uh-oh. Bowled over. Yeah, I think I agree with you on Fujita. I think Fujita is somebody you definitely want to keep your eye on for sure. I'm appreciating his style already. Ooh. Uh-oh. Double, double, double. Yeah, double submission move. There we go. All right, let's see what we got going on here. All four men down right now. All right. And thank you, Veda Scott. Looks like Vegeta's got a submission hold locked in there pretty good too. Locked in pretty tight. Not sure I'm down with this spot. Ooh. That was a rough spot all the way across the board there. And that's totally fine, Steven. I mean, for the longest time, I preferred WWE. And I understand what you're talking about when it comes to AEW not selling moves. I get that part of it. Um, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, definitely an acquired taste. Yeah, I'm loving this intensity that Connors has got going on here too. We got a pin. We got a pin out of nowhere. Wow. But no, Steven, it's okay. This is safe around here. This is just a watch along show. I mean, this is pretty good. I do reviews of WWE shows now, and they're not always family friendly, but I call it like I see it. And I also do the same style of review for AEW. Review shows completely different than watch along shows. Watch alongs, I do this as a fan. I'm unbiased. I have no agenda, nothing on my mind. You're in a great place here right now. It's not a big deal. Nobody's gonna say anything about WWE that's negative or anything like that during a watch along show. Now, my review shows, on the other hand, I don't say it necessarily negatively. It's more out of I really want WWE to do better. As that's the only thing about it. That's where I'm at with the WWE review. Had a lot of viewers earlier today. Same thing. We all had a good time. We enjoyed it. We chopped up some game, got everything laid out, the whole 9 yards, and here we are for the watch along too because I just enjoy pro wrestling. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I get both sides as well. I'm not as hard on them, except when I do a review. Now, when I do a review, I start nitpicking, and when I start nitpicking, sometimes that rubs people the wrong way. But I mean, it's things that you just need to hear, and there's things that you need to start getting your mind conditioned to, because my only problem right now with WWE is they're not delivering what they used to deliver years ago, and they could deliver it, especially for some of the money they're drawing right now. That's been my only problem with it. It's hard for me to keep looking at record breaking gates and all that stuff and then actually have to review the show. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, some people, I mean, this is the way I look at it. We're sitting at home, we're watching television. Yeah, that ending is likely, yeah, I agree. That's a Vegeta TJP program waiting to happen right there. But, I mean, the whole thing of it is all I ever want out of WWE is a better product. So all I ever want out of AEW is a better product. Because you don't have a lot of wiggle room anymore. See, believe it or not, I know this is going to blow a lot of people's minds unless you're older. But WWE used to draw, and I'm not even exaggerating here a little bit. We'd be getting upset if the show only drew 6 million. Like when they got 6 million, we'd be sitting there going, all right, see, I told you this booking sucked. And we didn't know how good we had it back in the 6 million days. So, Leo Rush and, oh yeah, now they're starting to put the match cards up there. Leo Rush and, I never get this guy's name right, Hecachero. I never get that guy's name right. And we do have 27 viewers. Thank you guys very much. Yeah, we're going to be having a good time tonight. No alcohol on the venue tonight at all. Sunday, and plus I need to take some time off from that as well. You don't want to be a lush or anything like that. We just wouldn't go for that, not even a little bit. Possibly Wednesday night, I'm thinking about maybe putting Godfathers out. Godfathers for the watch alone. Here comes Leo Rush with that new gear he's been working out with. Honestly, Steven, I think, and a lot of people are starting to come down to reality here, I don't think it's going to move the needle that much. And truthfully, it's going to be a toss-up between NXT and Raw as to which one's going to catch the most scrutiny first. And here's why I say that. I'm not saying it out of anger, not saying it out of disbelief or any of that. I've seen Netflix cancel shows that have 30 million views on a regular basis. I've seen Netflix delay shows that had 40 million viewers. So WWE's got to come into this thing strong. They've got to at least, I'm saying, in order for them to maintain a good relationship with Netflix, they're going to have to come in at least 25, 30 million the first month. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the initial show is probably going to max out, probably cap out at around 10 to 15 million views to get started. And then I think it's going to be downhill from there because the product itself is going to remain PG. They're not going to push the envelope at all. NXT's already seen the demise of the president of the company just coming off of this NXT thing, because what they're figuring out is what we've already known. Most WWE fans will tune into the show, but they don't hang around very much. So it's great. I mean, every week when we have these ratings arguments and everybody jumps up and screams about, oh, your show didn't do this and your show didn't do that. I'm going to be honest with you. Most television companies most broadcasting organizations aren't watching the initial numbers. They're watching the overflow, which is why some of these shows remain on television. You scratch your head like, why are they still there? It's because they attract viewers that will in turn watch other programming on that network. That's what network broadcasters care about. They don't care if I'll give you, for instance, Raw did a 2.1 million, and the show following them did 200,000. So, I mean, USA doesn't necessarily care about the 2 million as they do some of the 2 million bleeding over into the rest of the shows before, after, during, and everything else. And that's what AEW brings to the table. Everybody says, how in the world did AEW get a Billy? And and when it's all said and done, I'm going to do a show on that. AEW is very close already to a billion. They got 2 more major network contracts to work out. So if you want to know why AEW with 500,000, 600,000 viewers still draws a billy, is because out of those 600,000 viewers, their recidivism rate as far as the show coming afterwards is 1 in about 5. So that means out of every 5 viewers, 1 in about every 5 viewers hangs around and keeps on watching television. For any WWE show, at least that I've looked at for the last year and a half, because I've been actually studying this myself, for every WWE show, and I'm talking about Raw, NXT, SmackDown, the weekend shows, like they did the weekend show yesterday, the recidivism for that show after Saturday night's main event on NBC was 1 in 11,480 viewers. And networks just don't give a shit at that point. They're like, you're not bringing anything to the table. We appreciate the views you've got, but it's hard enough to book. It's hard enough to book commercials around a wrestling show as it is. And the shows you can book commercials about, the wrestling fans aren't hanging around to watch. So, with that said, my thought on the whole thing, and this is a hot take here, is that NXT will probably be back on USA by the end of next year. That's me spitballing. That's just me. And it might very well wind up on Netflix as well. So just to give you a general idea, because they've got to get those views. WWE has got to bring those views in to justify the $5 billion. Meanwhile, we got a cheat code of a match going on right now. Lio Rush finds himself in yet another pinning predicament from, I'm not even going to try it, Hechicero. Okay, thank you, Velvet Voice. Whoa, a lot of action there. And Lio Rush never puts on a bad match, by the way. So, Steven, you're going to catch a really good match. If you haven't seen Lio Rush in a while, Lio does not put on bad matches. And the fact that he's working with Hechicero, I can't ever say that guy's name right. The two of them together, this is probably going to be a cheat code of a match right here, all together. Let me see what's going on here real quick. Let's see here. There we go. Oh, Hetchy, and then Lio Rush with the misdirection. There we go. Oh, Rush finds himself in more pinning predicaments than he can deal with right now. Yeah, this has been a cheat code the whole way. Might have been a little bit of a botch right there. I'll holler at Leo a little bit later on. He does actually respond to posts I drop every once in a while. I'll holler at him a little later on about that spot right there. Uh oh. Yep. Amongst other things. There we go. Whoops. Oh, both of them had the same idea with that high boot. Well, that's a good spot to be on. Got him tied up like a pretzel on this thing, man. Hechicero flying lariat knocked Leo clean out of his shorts there for about a second there. It looked like almost a 3 count. Obviously, the fan favorite, Hechicero. I got his name right finally. If I say it enough, I'll get it right. I just kind of feel like calling him Hetch because, all I got to do is say Leo. Whoa. Hechicero got him in a submission hold from hell. Got him tied up in what they used to call a Japanese octopus. I don't know if that's what they call it now. They used to be the Japanese octopus when it starts getting like that. There we go. Big swing of his own, followed up into a backbreaker. 1 and 2, and yeah. Yeah, Hechicero is really, he's one of those special talents. I put him up there with Will Ospreay in that crowd. They do some special things in the ring that make wrestling worth watching again. Leo Rush, on the other hand, man, Leo's not slacking either. I don't sleep too much on Leo Rush because he's small, but you know he can go. And honestly, I can't wait to see whether Tony's going to build a division around him. Because I really think if you're going to have Leo Rush and he's going to work out pretty well, that you bring in some more cruiserweights and have a junior heavyweight title. And I think Leo Rush could make that division work. I really do. I think Rush is the right guy for the division as long as he keeps his attitude in check, as long as he keeps his mouth in check. See, those are the two things you got to worry about because Tony seems to be a magnet for that kind of shit. You know? I mean, you had Ricky Starks out there shit posting earlier today, and I'm just shaking my head anymore. I'm like, what did you learn nothing from Ray Phoenix last week? I mean, did Ray Phoenix not teach anyone anything that's not going to work? That stuff is not going to work this time. Tony's not nice Tony anymore. And I'm sorry, but I stumped my big toe just ain't going to cut it with him anymore. So, as long as Leo can keep his attitude and his mouth in check, I think the sky's the limit for him in AEW. He could stay there for the rest of his career. And, he's out here working right now. He's out here working a New Japan match under contract with AEW. And I forgot, that was another reason I actually bought the pay per view, is because of Leo Rush. I mean, I bought the pay per view because of the AEW wrestlers on it. My biggest concern now is I read an article last week where it said WWE, whoa, flying like whatever that was. Not enough for 3, though. But I did read where WWE is going to start sending they're going to start sending their talent out to certain indie events. That's kind of a little bit concerning because I'm not sure if they're sending them out to wrestle or sending them out to scout and drop those WWE IDs all over the place. Wow, we're sitting at 30 now. Thank you. Yeah, Leo Rush and Hechicero right now putting on a clinic in a combination of lucha and British strong style here because they've got a pretty good combination going on right now. Lucha, British strong style. This isn't even Japanese strong style. It's just British strong style. Same betters. Uh-oh. Oh. Not enough for three, though. Leo almost picking up the 3 count. Yeah, Leo's run everywhere right now since he had his attitude corrected. He had to have an attitude adjustment. And so once he got his attitude adjusted ooh, spinning insecurity out of nowhere. Once he got that attitude adjustment laid out there properly, yeah, he's not put on. You don't get a bad match out of Leo Rush. Never get a bad match out of Leo Rush anymore. I remember back in the day, he was putting some stinkers out there. Now, see, now that's a little bit of a backstage rumor right there, Steven. Tony Khan has not bought everybody out. He has bought some people out of New Japan Pro, but between the main reason that Hechicero picking up the 3 count out of nowhere, now that was a little bit of a shock right there. I thought Leo had that one in hand. Hechicero still in a win there. The reality of it is Tony Khan owns a few contracts in New Japan. He has a few contracts in Stardom. He has a few contracts in CMLL. And he keeps them working those places because it's his bread and butter. Yeah, there's like that's what I was getting ready to tell you. There's like 5 different promotions represented in just this show. I'm just here to support my AEW guys. And I am a big AEW fan, and I make no bones about that part of it. But what Tony does, Tony sees cooperation a lot differently than WWE does, and I understand that. WWE, they're the Rolls Royce. If you're looking at it, if you want to look at it for what it is and not what I want it to be, WWE is the Rolls Royce. But we still riding in a Corvette. It's not a Rolls Royce, but it's still a fast car. It's a fast sports car. It may not be a European sports car, but it's a sports car. But no, Tony doesn't have as much interest in all these companies as everybody's reporting. Nobody does, really. They all do interpromotional stuff, which I was really happy. It appears that Tony Khan and Brett Lauderdale have cooked up whatever beef it was because Chris Jericho showing up last night on the show to drop Effie and drop not Zack Ryder, God dang it, Matt Cardona, dropping Matt Cardona with the baseball bat, and then of course dropping um, Effie. I think Effie had to take that bat shot for what he said on the podcast, but AEW is a very cooperative company. If you get a chance sometime, go back and watch some of those Maple Leaf Pros. They've got them down now. Now that everybody spent $30 on the pay-per-view, um, now they got it up on. Now they got it up on YouTube. A lot of the video up there on YouTube. Joe Hendry's pretty cool. I actually got to talk to Joe Hendry a little bit down at WrestleCade a couple weeks ago. I was at WrestleCade for that whole event, that whole weekend. I'm bow tie guy there, by the way. Um, Joe Hendry's future is reasonably promising. What I would like to see them do is either shit or get off the pot. If WWE is going to pull Hendry in, they need to go ahead and do it since they saturated his gimmick all over hell and half of Georgia. They probably need to go ahead and pick him up if they're going to go ahead and pick him up. Either that or he needs to just settle down in TNA for a little while longer, and maybe. I'm not kidding, Steven. They glazed the living crap out of this dude. Not that Joe Hendry's bad, and not that I'm upset about that, but if Joe Hendry was in a match that weekend, he's winning. I don't care who he was fighting. I mean, and that part of it I had a little bit of an issue with. Not too bad, but I mean, still, if WWE is going to saturate with his gimmick, they need to go ahead and put him under contract because that gimmick has a shelf life. It seriously has a shelf life. And I don't see a rework. Here's Titan. Yeah, Titan. That's Titan, I guess. Um, I don't see a backup gimmick for Joe. That's the problem. I mean, if this song craps out on him, he's in trouble. And WWE, especially, I don't know how long you've been out of wrestling and just coming back to it. Yeah, they did, Stampede. They kind of fixed it. It appears that the beef has been cooked up and ate, so to speak. So, I mean, I'm hoping that for a lot of things because I like GCW too, and I don't want to see them getting denied talent that I prefer to watch as well. I would have liked to have seen a Ricky Starks match. I just forgot that Ricky Starks is an absolute fucking idiot and can't keep his mouth shut long enough to put a match together. Boy, as soon as he got out there on television, as soon as he saw a camera, he couldn't wait to tell you how shitty everything was. And, you know, I was really looking forward to a Ricky Starks match on GCW, but he's another one of those that's got to check his attitude. He's good, he ain't great. I mean, Ricky Starks is okay, don't get me wrong, but The Rock, he's not. Will Ospreay, he's not. Hulk Hogan, he's damn sure not. As far as the popularity side of things. So I would have really liked it if Ricky would have just kept his damn mouth shut, and I would have really liked it if Effie had kept his damn mouth shut, because I think that could have been a pretty epic match between Ricky Starks and Matt Cardona. You know, yeah, Hendry's contract runs through the end of 2025, and I mean, I talked to Joe Hendry just a little bit, and it was like the light was on when I brought up the idea of, you know, because we were all sitting there in a group, and you know, they kept saying, well, now if you got a question, ask. And I started saying, I said, well, what do you think about how they're putting your gimmick out there all over the place? You know, how do you feel about that? And he's like, oh, it's great, it's wonderful. I'm doing this and I'm doing that, I'm doing another. And I don't think he understood the crux of the question I was asking, because he's not a WWE regular. And you know, it to me, it's I would like to see Joe Hendry survive his gimmick, because I think he probably could do a biker gimmick. I swear, I don't know why, but I was just sitting there thinking about that. At some point in time, he would probably fit in a really good biker gimmick. But that's if they don't keep running. And now they're skipping through the whole part of it. If you're on the road with them, they do the I Believe in Joe Hendry part there for like 30 seconds, and then they kick it down to his exit music when he's coming to the ring, you know. Yeah, and if anybody, yeah. Oh no, Steven. Matt Cardona's going on Ring of Honor for the world title here on the 21st, something like that. The Ring of Honor show, yeah, Matt Cardona and Chris Jericho for the ROH World Heavyweight title. No, Cardona can go. Cardona can go. In fact, he kicked it with a match. Had a match on Rampage the other night. Had a match on AEW on Rampage with Keith. You know, Keith Lee, not Keith Lee. Why do I keep wanting to call him Keith Lee? I know there's a Keith in there somewhere. But yeah, he had that match. He had that match Friday night on Rampage. Or Saturday, I'm sorry, Saturday night on... No, it was Friday on Rampage. Or was it Saturday? No, it wasn't Saturday on Collision, because I was watching main event, so it had to be Friday. because I thought I was going to be doing a show with Covalent TV over that. So I was sitting down there taking notes and trying to hit my high points and my low points. But yeah, I mean, yeah, no, he's Cardona's in. Cardona may very well have an AEW contract by the end of next week, because my understanding is GCW commitments are about to go away. Yeah, see, that's what I'm trying to say, Stampede. I mean, the gimmick he has does have a shelf life because people get tired of music after a while. And that's the whole thing of it. And when I mentioned to him something, I was kind of asking him in the same vein as, do you have a backup gimmick? What's your next gimmick? And he seems stuck as hell on this I believe in Joe Hendry thing. And I'm good with that for right now because it's selling. And yeah, Cardona could easily be the face of Ring of Honor. That's kind of where I think they're landing with this right now. I think they're close to that True TV deal. And I think it probably the holdup is you've got a damn near 60-year-old man as your world champion who just took it off a damn near 55-year-old man who's your world champion. Which still, if we're comparing apples to oranges, you're about to put it, if he does win, you're still about to put it on a 45-year-old man. So the age thing, I think that was what they were concerned about too, is having an old man on there. But Cardona definitely doesn't look his age. Jericho definitely looks his age. Jericho definitely looks older than he actually is. You know, let's see what I got here. Hang on a second. There we go. Yeah, I don't have a dog in the fight for this one right here. I think this is straight up New Japan and United Kingdom. I think this is United Kingdom versus New Japan. Oh, he could have seen it coming if he'd have turned around. No, he's not gassed at all, Velvet. No, he's not gassed, not even a little bit. But yeah, Cardona could easily be the face of Ring of Honor. I agree. Yeah, I really seriously agree with you on that. I think Cardona could easily be the face of that. He was easily the face of GCW for like a year, man. And I love the way he played that weed angle. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I thought that weed angle was absolutely flipping hilarious. I don't think they're going to put another New Japan title on the Brits, though. I don't see the Brits coming out of it with the title. I don't see it. Grizzled Young Vets have got one of the New Japan tag titles. I don't see them putting the other ones on United Empire. I just don't see it. It doesn't make good PR sense to do it that way. In all seriousness, I don't see that happening. Not tonight. Yeah, they're working it out right there. But no, I mean, I hadn't planned on talking about much of this tonight, but I mean, here we are. We're having a conversation, and I'm enjoying the conversation. I don't know about anybody else, but the reality of it is if and getting back to the television part of it too, if you think about it and you put it in its proper perspective, if WWE were not worried about AEW, what the hell were they doing last night? I mean, in all seriousness, WWE rarely runs Saturday shows in the first place unless they're a PLE, So the fact that they had to jump in there and go up against that Continental Classic match, which there were a couple of good ones, and a Tony Storm return, the fact that they thought they needed to put that on the venue for that time, because look, we make fun of the bookers we don't like WWE people make fun of Tony Khan, AEW people make fun of Triple H, and indie wrestlers make fun of New Japan booking. Um, Solid women's wrestling fans make fun of Stardom's booking, Marigold's booking, you name it all you want to. But at the end of the day, they are talented enough. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying there, Stampede. The reason that I don't really make that much fun of Triple H, and the reason nobody should make fun of Tony or Tanahashi here, who works the New Japan stuff, is they're good enough bookers that they can look at what's on television and get within a solid striking range of where they're going to be with that program 3 months from now, and they book their matches accordingly. So I thought it was very telling last night that we had three major title matches on Saturday night's main event. And a couple of damn good grudge matches that could have been damn good, of course, Now I'm in fan mode again. A couple of damn good grudge matches. If AEW's Continental Classic wasn't going to be a problem, they wouldn't have needed to put this show on. At least not on the day they put it on. I mean, seriously, it would have probably worked out better, especially since the partnership with TNA is starting to dissolve a lot, to put it on Thursday night, just to show TNA who TNA was. That would have made a whole lot of sense. The Saturday night, of course, it wouldn't be Saturday night's main event, but I get that part of it. They could have come up with something a little bit different. Oh, tornado. That was a tornado DDT right there now. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't think they're going to send these tag titles back to the UK. Ruh-roh. Moonsault. And they managed to make it work in a 4.5 to 5 foot space, flying through the air like that. Tell me this isn't some damn good wrestling tonight. I think they get a 20 count in New Japan. Let's see here. And I agree with you, Stampede. Not a problem there at all. I agree with you. I've been doing this for about the same, maybe a little bit longer. I just figured it up the other day on my 54th birthday. I'd been watching wrestling about 50 years, because that was me and my dad's thing when I was like 4 and younger. Dad liked to watch the matches on television. We had Mid Atlantic Championship Wrestling. The NWA Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling came on every Saturday, and he never missed that show. He was like seated and probably smoked a pack of cigarettes through the whole thing. No kidding. Never forget. Then we discovered World Class Championship Wrestling and AWA on ESPN in the 80s, the early 80s. Because we got cable in like 1982. Rampage is only doing like 150K, and it's not dying per se because even it's bringing in people. But it's going to be canceled on the U.S. side by the 27th of December. They're still going to be carrying that show on Fox Mexico for at least a little while longer. So we won't be seeing Rampage, but Fox Mexico, they'll have some Rampage going on there. So I'm signing up for Fox Mexico just to catch the Mexican shows that are going to be on Fox as well. Let's see here. I missed a comment, obviously. Hey, Catherine. Yeah, I saw Cody getting a Christmas vacation. I wished him a happy Christmas on top of that. If you saw if you saw what I did there, I dropped a tweet on there because everybody's like, "Oh my God, he's hurt, he's hurt, he's hurt," and I said, "Well, I hope you have a great Christmas, Cody." Because obviously he's done for the rest of the month. I think they're going to give him the rest of the month out, and that's where that was as well. I don't think he suffered any cervical swelling. I think he suffered eggnog swelling immediately after the match. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, Cody deserves time off, and I'm just yeah. Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling and Stampede Wrestling. Wow, I wish I could have been up in Canada to see that. Nice. Oh my goodness, they did let him. All right, so New Japan Pro let their tag titles head on out there again. No, not necessarily. They let the win head on out. I didn't think they were going to let him pick up the win, to be honest with you. Because United Empire, basically, they're picking all that stuff up. But yeah, no, we got cable in 1982. Early 1982. I want to say like February 1982. And we were like scanning around ESPN, and there was AWA and World Class Championship Wrestling. So, I mean, I cut my teeth to begin with on Mid Atlantic Championship Wrestling in '74. I saw Ric Flair's first NWA match. Yeah, that was a good match. I gotta give him to that. I didn't think that New Japan was going to hand United Kingdom another win. I didn't think they were going to let that one out. I didn't think they were going to let him pull that one off. Yeah, I saw the thing about Cody's early Christmas vacation. I get it. And what I was going to say before everything else was, as much as I am not a fan of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, I have to acknowledge that this entire year he's been there week in, week out, night in, night out. Um, he's put so much on there. I don't think anybody's going to attack Mercedes. Mercedes got a match tonight for the New Japan Wrestling title. She's got to defend her title tonight on this show. So we're going to see a Mercedes title defense. That's kind of a loaded question. I'm not 100% sure, but there's always a possibility depending on the attitude of the booker. But what I was going to say ahead of time, too, is it's like, um, Triple H saw the booking coming together. And the fact that he had his show matching title for title, the only thing that he didn't match was the amount of women's matches they had. I mean, Collision popped out 3 women's matches, and Saturday night's main event popped out 2. And one of them was good, and one of them was there, you know? Actually, both of them were there. They were both semi good. I was just a little more invested in the U.S. title match because I wanted to see Chelsea Green pick up the win. I really did. And once again, in that rare moment, that very rare moment where WWE gave me something I actually wanted, and that's a rare moment. I mean, seriously, the right person won that match, and that's the only one the right person won all night long last night. I mean, at the end of the day, and I think I was pretty clear about that part of it. Tanahashi and Gabe Kidd going at it is. We're getting a preview of that. I don't know if you guys are. I don't know if you guys are getting that on your stream, Stampede, but we just got a Tanahashi Gabe Kidd preview. Now, Gabe Kidd's another one that needs to know how to keep his fucking mouth shut. You know, pardon my French on that one, but yeah, Gabe Kidd's another person that needs to learn how to keep their damn mouth shut. I mean, I get his shtick. I get where he's going with it. I get the gimmick. But I caught his news presser ahead of this show today. And if you've not seen that one yet, that's something you need to see. And I'm basically looking Gabe Kidd in the mouth and I ain't saying, dude, shut up. There's just certain things you don't do if you want to be in a promotion. I mean, he obviously wants to be in AEW. He's come over here and worked Ring of Honor for a lot. So obviously he wants to be part of the promotion. But man, that presser he gave today was horrible. I mean, he wasn't cussing or nothing because it's on national syndicated television. But yeah, I mean, Gabe Kidd is just acting like a kid right now, I guess. Yeah. Cody Rhodes, Steven, has inherited one important trait from his father that will never go away. Unlike Dustin, who actually the chase doesn't overshadow the carry. Yeah, I'm looking at that already. He already reminds me a little bit of like Tanahashi just looking at him. He's got a build like a young Tanahashi does. I'll be interested to see how he works. But I don't know. I'll get back to it, Steven. But I mean, the thing about it is Cody has Dusty in him. And it's good that you're picking up on stuff like that because his dad, Dusty Rhodes. This is going back to the NWAs and NWA days. I think Stampede might actually back me up on this. I don't know. He might disagree with me on it too. Dusty Rhodes was hot going for the title. The minute he won a title, with the exception of the television title, because I think he was booking his own path with that. But the minute he got the title, it was like 2 weeks later he'd be cold product. And so they'd wind up getting the title off of him again and putting it back on somebody else. They did that. They had 3 reboots of that, of Dusty Rhodes trying to be the NWA World Champion, the big gold belt, the whole 9 yards. The chase was good. The chase was top shelf. The acquisition sucked. Once he got the actual title, I mean, one of his title reigns was 3 weeks. Like he picked the title up at Starrcade, dropped it 3 weeks later at a house show. So yeah, no, Stampede, you gotta go. You gotta go see that interview. You gotta go see that interview he cut for New Japan. I think he probably shit on everybody but New Japan in that promo. And I mean, when I say he shit on them, I mean he shit on them. Like basically he called AEW fans incels, and I'm sitting there thinking like, dude, you are trying to get a contract with AEW, and I think we've seen how Tony responds to people who make fun of his fans, his father, or himself. And you make fun of the wrestlers all you want. Apparently, he's cool with that. Anyway, here's Gabe Kidd. Speak of the devil. But no, I'm just saying, I mean, you can speak about the wrestlers all you want. He don't seem to give a happy about that. But if you mention family, um, if you mention family, fans, or himself personally, he seems to take that seriously. And yeah, Gabe was basically calling AEW fans a bunch of incels that never get laid. And he actually said that on television. You know, it was like national television pushing this. Oh, yeah, Gabe's already in Gabe form. But yeah, I think he probably needs to practice some shut the fuck up. I really do. When you're trying to pull in like that, I mean, I get it. I get his shtick. I understand his shtick. I get it. All the way across the board, I got it. But, you know, I think he's about to find out that they don't always go along with that the way he puts it out there. I'm just hoping that I'm hoping that, you know, it didn't come across as that bad, but when I saw it, I was like, dude, shut up. No, no, no. Mercedes Monet is coming up. That's not going. She's probably. If I hope they don't have her in the. I hope they don't have her in the cold zone this time. They had her in the cold zone last time, and maybe I think she either picks up two behind or 2 to 3 behind the main event on this one. Last month they had her in the cold slot, and it was really cold. It was a cold slot. It's not rumored. He's going 1-on-1 with oh god, I just flaked. It's not a rumor. Kenny Omega. Him and Kenny Omega are going to go at it. Steven, yeah, it would generate heat, but that's not the good heat you want to be generating right now in this environment, especially after we just got through with the Ray Phoenix. We got through with the Ray Phoenix crash out, and we're in the process of the Ricky Starks crash out right now. Um, Probably not too far behind that, we're going to get a Miro crash out. And with all those crash outs and stuff like that, Gabe's sense of humor at this point in time is um, pregnant at best. Okay, it's a pregnant thought at best. Let's see what I got here. Uh, so yeah, I mean, it is what it is on that. They will probably show the highlights of the Mercedes Monet match on YouTube, but it's probably going to be after 11 p.m. Eastern. I'll let you know that right now. I don't. Yeah. So see, Mercedes is yeah. They don't have her in the cold spot. See, last month she was in the cold spot, and people made fun of the match, but it's just the location of the match. Plus, who she followed and who was coming up. I mean, that's just one of those things. Now, Gabe Kidd is the real deal, though. I mean, I've got to say, I've seen Gabe wrestle about 6 times, and I'm dying for him to bring that attitude to AEW. I think AEW could use that attitude. I'd like to see him work a couple of Mox programs with that mouth he's got. That'd be hilarious. But yeah, no, Gabe Kidd and Kenny Omega are going to be rolling out for January the 5th. January 5th, January 6th, something like that. But Gabe Kidd and Kenny Omega for the strong title. And to be honest with you, I would not even be marginally surprised if they put that title on Kenny Omega. Yep, two belts Monet. Yeah, I think she'll be fine. I think she'll be fine tonight. I don't see any major title changes happening tonight. This is like an end of the year Christmas show for them. This is going to be their last show on the stateside. On stateside, they're heading back to Japan for one more little show, but this is going to be their last match stateside. Yeah, the reality for Gabe Kidd is it's always the time, it's always the place. He hadn't met a spot he couldn't cuss his way out of. And I like that. Don't get me wrong. I just think he needs to be a little bit more choicey when he's talking about the fans, because obviously Tony Khan doesn't see eye to eye with you talking about the fans, and he doesn't see eye to eye with you talking about his family. Those are things he just doesn't see eye to eye with. And if you're self-aware enough, you get that. And he could have cut that promo about 150 different ways. He chose to cut it that way. I hope it came out decent enough for Tony. Not 100% sure, but I'm not Gabe Kidd and I'm not pocket watching, so I don't really. Gabe's obviously going to be successful in New Japan. Doesn't matter. Gabe's got a solid future in New Japan, so I'd like to see Zack Sabre Jr. come over for a shot. I'd like to see Zack Sabre Jr. at Forbidden Door. I'm just gonna be honest with you. That'd be cool. See what we got here. See if we got any other good stuff coming up here. Well, it looks like we're catching a few things here. Ooh. Oh yeah, we're getting Zack Sabre Jr. too, so I'm good. I mean, there's a few reasons I bought this. I bought this pay per view. There's a few reasons. Yeah, year to date, Gabe Kidd is probably. I would have him honestly. Honestly, I don't know if I'd go as high as top 10. He's definitely in my top 15. Yeah. No, I'm not streaming. I do. I'm on this stream right here, Steven. What I do is I check around to see if there's news going on while we got lulls in here. If I see something really cool, because if you're spending time with me watching the stream, you're missing out on other things too. So I go around and I scan to see if there's any really good news to talk about, things you probably would see if you weren't watching this stream. But I definitely do watch alongs for Raw, NXT, Dynamite, SmackDown, Rampage, Collision, all PLEs, all pay per views. And then now I'm starting to do review shows on a lot of the shows too. Just did my Saturday night's main event review. It's on the YouTube channel right now. It was pretty good, pretty good. I had a pretty good crowd. Had about 70. On average, I was averaging about 70 people for it, and it's not bad for a review show because there's not really anything going on where we're sharing in common. And like I always say, when I'm reviewing WWE, I'm especially critical about certain things because they haven't changed. And now AEW, I'm slightly critical about certain things that have not changed since I've been watching it. I've only been watching AEW now for roughly about a year. I was a WWE diehard, and WWE could do no wrong. Then I ran into these folks at Covalent TV, and I listened to them for a couple of months, and I started taking what they had to say to heart and started looking at the matches the way they were talking about. And sure enough, they weren't wrong. And so now I'm not just a diehard WWE fan. I'm an all over the place fan again, which is what I used to be before WWE got the monopoly on everything. So it ain't no way in hell he gonna pick him up like that. Gabe, on the other hand, can make it happen. Mm. Uh-oh. Whoa. Just missed a swinging lariat like that. 1 and 2. Not enough for 3. Gabe was like, holy shit, that was close. In typical Gabe Kidd form. Now, Gabe Kidd's in my top 15. I wouldn't say he's not quite peaking yet at 10 for me. Because I've just got a lot of other people that are ahead of him that I've seen a lot of good stuff out of. A little bit better than I've seen out of Gabe. Gabe has the possibility and probability of making that title actually mean something, which is what he was brought in to do. Nice, nice power bomb. I'm not 100% sure that's not a title win. Apparently, it could have been a title win because the referee just got jerked out of the ring. Pause. Mm. And I'm still trying to get all the factions together in New Japan because I don't have the app yet. I am going to be adding the app for that. I'm holding off on Ring of Honor to see if they get that TV deal. If they get that TV deal, then I'll be watching it on TV. If not, then I'm going to pick up the app for that as well. And I'm also going to pick up the app for Progress. We're going to start covering some Progress wrestling. Riho the wrestler has been following me now for roughly about 9 months, and we tend to have great conversations. And I have wanted to do interviews with her, and so I'm going to start watching Progress Wrestling. So I've actually got something to talk about that makes sense. So I'm going to start reviewing Progress Wrestling. We're going to do some watch alongs for that, which means my sleep schedule is going to suck ass. But you know, hey, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do to get the story right. And we finally got the referee back in here for the match. Maybe we can get this thing finished. Let's see here. Not enough for 3. This is a hard match to put away. Mm, no, I try to support the shows. I try to support the shows because the wrestlers, believe it or not, the wrestlers actually support me, and I found that out when I got to WrestleCade. And if you ask just about any of 160 pro, semi pro indie wrestlers right now who Bowtie Guy is, they got great stories. They support me, so I don't mind spending the money. I don't. Now I'm not spending for New Japan because number one, it's hard to cover It's hard to do watch alongs when it's in Japanese and I don't understand what the hell they're saying. If Velvet ain't covering it, that means I don't have good English for it. Gabe Kidd finally putting him away. I don't have good English coverage for it yet, so I'm kind of working on my Japanese a little bit. I got somebody giving me some key tips and pointers. I'll give it to you like this. He likes bread. Um, and he's helping me out a little bit to learn the language enough so that I can actually do watch alongs and keep it moderately intelligent at the whole time because I like to know about what I'm doing before I get in there. This New Japan thing tonight, literally, I make no bones about it. They had 3-4 AEW stars on it. I bought the pay-per-view. I supported it. Yeah, it does come out to be, if you do it right, though, IWTV is $100 for a year. Triller is $79.99 for a year. So that gives me GCW and basically every independent promotion out there. There's a couple of more that are out there. There's a couple of more of them. I wish I could remember what I did with those cards I had. I have some match cards from WrestleCade. There's an entire network out there of amateur, or not amateur, but independent wrestling that a lot of people just haven't seen. That's just all there is to it. A lot of people didn't even know existed. It wouldn't be a Gabe Kidd match without him calling the fans nasty hoes. Calling Kenny Omega out right now. Oh, he called Tomohiro Ishii out too. But yeah, no, I tend to spend my money, at least a little bit of money. I've got probably, let's see, since Double or Nothing, I probably put $1,000 into it. I'd say I put 1,000 in because I bought all of the AEW pay per views since Double or Nothing. I've got World's End queued up as well. I bought, this is the second New Japan one I bought, so I'm 40 into that. I bought Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling because Scott D'Amore, I kept hearing Scott D'Amore this, Scott D'Amore that, Scott D'Amore that. I was not impressed. Maple Leaf Pro, I was impressed with some of the matches. I was not that impressed with the booking. I just was not. And so, yeah, I mean, and that was one of those scenarios where one of my mentors was like, dude, man, I didn't see this coming. We all didn't see it coming. He's like, no, you got to watch another one. You got to watch another one. This one was just, this was off. But I did Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling for a lot of reasons, too. They had Harley Cameron in there. Zack Sabre Jr., Bad Dude Tito, Shane Haste, Shoto Amino, Fred Rozier, and the filthy Tom Lawler. What would life be without filthy Tom Lawler coming up here, too? Recognize all these guys. Zack Sabre Jr., another reason I bought the pay per view. I like to try to support. Yeah. Yeah, UK has a price cap on that, and a lot of our people over here too. A lot of our people over here use VPNs to try to get to that price cap. Yeah, some of the UFC shows used to go for, I don't know what they go for now because I wouldn't spend money on UFC if you gave me the money and told me to go buy it. I'm not a big UFC fan at all. It's, once again, TKO is perfectly well situated. That marriage is totally cool. Yeah, that was the one I was talking about, Steve. When Maple Pro did the 2 nights, I bought that pay per view too. Because all I heard was Scott D'Amore this, Scott D'Amore that, Scott D'Amore the other. I just totally was not impressed. And I was not impressed with some of the people he picked up. Thought he could have got better for his buck. Um, and if anything, I think, and I'm still standing on this, I think Bully Ray owes him a refund because after that NXT show I saw Bully work, Bully Ray owes him a refund because I mean he worked Maple Leaf Pro in slow motion compared to what he was doing with NXT. So I mean I'll stand on that for the rest of my life. That was actually Bully Ray was the one that broke both of those nights for me. It was really good up and until then, and he broke it really bad, and it was hard for me to recover to watch. I did a watch along for both of those here. That's also on my YouTube channel. Um, yeah, I did a watch along for that, and I'm just gonna be honest with you. If they were trying to impress me, they failed. They failed. Now some of the matches were great. Don't get me wrong. I loved a lot of the matches, but there was just a couple of bad placements and a couple of bad grabs for talent that look good to a lot of other people. Don't look that good to me. It didn't do anything for me. And in fact, my mentor apologized for that. He's like, "Damn, I didn't see that coming." And you know, I mean, he not saying anything, but he was able to watch the show too. And he's like, "Wow, you weren't kidding." He watched night 2, and I was doing the watch along for night 2, and he was watching it at home because he was going to do a review for night 2. He's like, "Shoot, I'll do a review." And he called me up and apologized and offered to give me my $30. I'm like, "Nah, I don't need that. I ain't that mad at the show." But yeah, that was not. If Scott D'Amore is great, that was my introduction to Scott D'Amore. I was not impressed. I was 100% not impressed. And yeah, that's the beautiful thing about the New Japan shows. There's not a lot of botch in this, and if it is botch, it tends to be the older people. And I am 100% sure here comes Zack Sabre Jr. We got 38 people on the show. Man, y'all just snuck in and I didn't even see you. Thanks, folks. I really appreciate it. There's Zack Sabre Jr. Think we could do without the rest of all of this, but yeah, and I think he's probably saying the same damn thing. But Zack Sabre Jr. said he wanted to retire and live in Japan, so he's starting to really get deeper into the culture, and it's starting to show too. Mm. And we're moving right into water number 2. All right, give me about 20 seconds. I'll be right back, and then we'll be ready for this match. Give me about 20 seconds. I'm going to leave the audio going. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Stampede. Mm-hmm. But I think if they'd have put the title on Zack Sabre Jr., say around June or so, and let him carry it from June to now, I think he'd have been Wrestler of the Year this year. I think he would have been on PWI's list. I think he would have been on everybody's list, at least top three. Um, this time next year, I'm expecting to see Zack Sabre Jr. in top three all the way across the boards. He's earned it. Being one of the like what 3 or 4 Yoshis that have won the G2 G1. I'm sorry, he's like one of 4 Yoshis that have won the G1. I'm starting to get the lingo. I think. Um, I expect to see him to be at least top three on PWI next year at this rate because he's actually put some bulk on. He's done what you're supposed to do. And I understand Leo Rush probably can't put much more bulk on because he's about my height and he'll wind up looking like me and he won't be able to fly and move like he does if he does that. But I actually saw a Zack Sabre Jr. Walter match one time, just out of nowhere. I saw a Zack Sabre Jr. Walter match. And that was an amazing match. But once again, Zach looked like he weighed maybe 50 pounds soaking wet. He looked a lot like Nick Wayne does now. If Nick Wayne puts on a little bit of weight, I think he can go. Just enough where he doesn't lose that speed, stamina, and the set that he does, but just enough to make him a little more believable in some of these matches. He had a battle of dueling uppercuts or dueling European uppercuts. And we're definitely going to be doing a live watch along for Wrestle Dynasty. That goes without saying. Jack Perry has grown on me. Gaijin. I Gaijin. Okay, that's the term. I knew there was a word. I called it a Yoshi for some reason. I have no earthly idea. Um, Opinion on Jack Perry. First time I saw him, I was not impressed. Then I started watching some of his mic work. Then I started seeing some of his character work. Now they're letting him expand a little bit better. And of course, he caught his break too at the end of the year. They put the title on Daniel Garcia for a little while. Gaijin, yeah. Um, Overall, I'm a little bit more impressed with Jack Perry than everybody tells me I ought to be, but I see it for what it is and not what everybody wants it to be. A lot of people are still mad because of the Jungle Boy CM Punk thing, and you know what? My opinion on CM Punk will never change. I thought I would be able to give him the benefit of the doubt with this past run here, but nah. Nah, I think everybody's hit him correctly now. He's PG Punk from here on out, and I think he'll be PG Punk for forever. Um, Overall, I don't see Jack Perry in the world title picture like they're trying to push him. I don't see that coming together because the amount of disbelief that I have to suspend to make that work is ridiculously high. You know, a lot of disbelief I had to suspend to see him work until he finally grew on me. I gave him a lot of the benefit of the doubt. It came around, but I don't see him in the world title picture. I see him more in the tag title picture. from here on out. Maybe, just maybe, next year, let him have a Continental Classic run for a little while. Um, I don't see him breaking out of the mid cards anytime soon. Now, granted, he's upper mid card, and I get that. He's right on the cusp. But with the elite taking a pill for the rest of the year, obviously, most of the elite anyway, there's not really a whole lot of opportunity for him to shine because the only thing left back there is him and Okada. And Okada right now is struggling too. I agree, Stampede. Now that's part of what did it. And his mic work is starting to get to be unmatched. Now I don't like the way they put together the feud with him and Daniel Garcia because I think they got lucky that Garcia didn't cool him off, so to speak. Yeah, it's. I feel kind of lucky that Garcia apparently didn't cool him off because there was a lot of opportunity right there during that entire program to cool him off really big. Jack Perry, I'm starting to believe, is unburiable. There are several wrestlers on my agenda right now that I consider to be unburiable. I mean, in all honesty, and I think Jack Perry's one of them. Stephanie Vacour is another one that comes to mind because they have thrown some. Keeping it positive here, they have thrown some really crazy stuff at her so far, and I think they're going to find that she's unburiable too when you get to that point. And I think Jack Perry is unburiable too, no matter how hard creative does things. Sometimes creative's not that great for Jack Perry, but he has managed to survive every shitty gimmick he's had so far to emerge to what he is right now. And I think at this point in time, he's unburiable. Now that does, I mean, I appreciate what he does and how he does it. But the reality of it is I don't see him in the main event picture anywhere except maybe TNA. I mean, if he were to go to TNA, he could get in the main event picture easily. Um, yeah, if Jack had stayed in there as Jungle Boy, he'd still be doing the hook thing right now. And I give Taz a lot of props for this because that's his son. Orange Cassidy sucks. That's the end of that one. That's that Orange Cassidy needs to go back to the Indies and needs to stay there. That's how I feel about Orange Cassidy. If you ask me how I feel about Max Caster, same thing. And I'm not as hard on Chris Jericho now because he's actually starting to do business in a much more effective way. But yeah, I mean, Jack Perry be brilliant in TNA. I think Orange Cassidy might work out in TNA. Orange Cassidy is a smaller program guy. That whole hands in the pocket thing and all that bullshit right there, that's got to go. I mean, that stuff, all those little indie tricks and stuff that still worked on the indies for him. That's why Danhausen's not on television right now. Yes, there is. There is a chance. But to even have Orange Cassidy in the world title picture right now absolutely steams me. I mean, I'm steamed just thinking about it. I mean, just having him in the world title picture for another match bothers the living shit out of me. Because I've just got a feeling they're going to luck up one time or they're going to fuck up and put the title on him, and that's going to kill the company. And I say that and I stand on it. If they fuck up and put the title on him, you might as well just put a fork in AEW. They're done. Nobody will take them seriously for the next 10 years. I mean, AEW hardcore fans will still watch the show and will enjoy it, but nobody else from outside the promotion will take the promotion seriously if they put the title on Orange Cassidy. Yeah, I mean, Orange Cassidy sucks. I wish he would go away. I wish the fans would stop cheering. See, what happens is Tony will put him in front of like a crowd of Fed walkers, and the Fed walkers will go nuts for him. The Fed walkers love him. They love the gimmick. They love the hands in the pants thing. But Tony will put him in front of a bunch of Fed walkers, and they'll cheer, and he'll go, see, they like him. Nobody likes him in AEW. The only time he gets any kind of pop, if he gets a pop, you can guarantee you're in Fed Walker country. That's pretty much how it goes. Oh, this ought to be interesting. Ooh, just a bit outside. But yeah, no, that's kind of how I figured. Now, Shibata Bread, on the other hand, Shibata has Shibata is a great wrestler who can't speak English. That phone thing's not a gimmick. That's how I found that out the hard way. The phone gimmick is how he actually communicates with English right now. But no, yeah, Orange should not be in any top title picture. And a lot of times they're giving Orange credit for a lot of things because Orange is one of Tony's favorites. And nobody's ever sat Tony down and said, "You're the only one he's a favorite for, you and Fed Walkers." You know, I mean, it just is what it is. You know. And don't get me wrong, Orange has had some good matches. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen some good stuff out of him. Because I can always find something good to say about people even when I don't like them. I have seen some good matches out of Orange Cassidy, but the bad far outweighs the good on this one. And plus the other fact too is they kind of tether him to hot acts at the time, and it literally cools him off. And you would think, because I'm looking at right now, it's probably like, I'm gonna say that's like the 5th or 6th tether I've seen him in so far right now, and everybody he's been tethered with cools off. So I mean, I don't know when Tony's gonna get the memo on that. Orange is a great curtain jerker. You put Orange in a curtain jerker position right there, that's his spot. That's his lane. That's where he needs to be. You know, you put him in that scenario right there, you're in good shape. You put him anywhere near a main title, that shit's going to be cold as the Himalayas. No kidding. Ooh, chain after chain after chain, but not enough for 3 and back into that armbar. Good Lord, Zach's not letting it go. And there is no hope at this point because the rest of his people are out getting their ass kicked right now. They're getting everybody locked up here now. Ooh. Oh, finally got that thing broke up. But yeah, I mean that I feel the same way about Max Caster. I actually have a video that when I posted it, I got a copyright strike on it from an independent wrestling company of all places. But Max came into an indie show with his acclaimed shtick, and about 3 bars into it, the entire crowd was like going, "Shut the fuck up," and the other half of the crowd was going, "Go away, fucker." I mean, literally. So like half the crowd's chanting, "Shut the fuck up," and the other half the crowd's going, "Go away, fucker." You know, they had it perfectly timed too. So I mean, I'm glad to see that they're probably going to break him up, break up. I'm glad to see they're going to break up the Acclaimed. It looks like they're heading in that general direction right now, because when I actually ran into Billy Gunn, you know, we didn't talk much at WrestleCade, but the one feeling I got from him is that he was itching and ready to get back on to managing his sons to make sure that they got a clear path after he's finally retired. Dude is 70 years old. I did not realize. I knew he was old, but the dude is literally like 70 years old. Billy Gunn is. He's like literally old. And so he's got to start getting out of this business here sooner rather than later. And I would like to see him pave a way for his kids because his kids are good. You know, Colton and them, yeah, they're good. You know, they're good wrestlers. And I'd like to see him cultivate them properly and get them in line before he finally has to retire. Filthy Tom Lawler still got it. Tom Lawler with the suspenders this week. Diving spear. Yeah, I think Billy Gunn's already in the Hall of Fame with Degeneration X. And then I think he went in with, I think he also went in with BG James. I keep getting his name screwed up already. He went in there, and I think he went in with Degeneration X. I think they went in individually, or they went in collectively, and then they went in tag team. No, not enough for three. Tom Lawler has not put anybody away on a New Japan show yet. Well, they should have, but at least Tom Lawler's doing the whole. And you're right about that too, Stephen, because the botch alert for a good professional, when they botch, they typically come up with something. They typically start trying to sell or favor like a leg injury or an arm injury. And sure enough, Tom Lawler was trying to sell a leg injury, so that tells me right there that they had the botch. So I don't know what the finish is going to be like here. Speaking of which, nah, I'm not getting into that right now. That gets too complicated. Um, there is a strong possibility because everybody in the world was clamoring for this. There is a strong possibility. I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there because I got a little bit of confirmation of this. There is a strong possibility that we're going to have a Final Testament. We hit him with a Zack driver. That was nice. Looks like we are heading for Final Testament Wyatt 6 on a premium live event coming to a town near you. That one I thought was worth mentioning because wow. Because I can't tell you how many Wyatt Six fans were clamoring for that match. Lawler just got planted. It's over with, yeah. They should have gone home on that thing about 3.5, 4 minutes ago. Yeah, yeah, I agree. So yeah, I mean, I get it. I get where that's going to and everything like that. But still, it's like, yeah, I just thought I'd throw that one out there because I actually got confirmation from somebody close to the action on that one that backstage they are indeed they are pitching a Final Testament versus Wyatt Six for a premium live event. Not on Raw, not on SmackDown, a premium live event. And don't get me wrong, I am the biggest Final Testament fan that ever lived. I am the biggest Final Testament fan that ever lived. I'm the biggest Karrion Cross fan that ever lived, and not because of his wife, Scarlett. I'm actually a fan of his work. I'm a fan of his promos. I'm a fan of his in ring capabilities. Well, we just finished up with Zack Sabre Jr. You know, give me a second. I'll be right back. Give me like 20 seconds here while they're jawing. Give me like 20 seconds here and I'll be right back and then we'll chop that one up cuz I'm ready to chop that one up already. I'll be right back. Give me like 20 25 seconds here. No, I think we got a few matches before that happens. I'm back. Thanks. I just needed to rest for a minute, rest my voice, because I know I'm getting ready to lose it again. I'm just getting over whatever the crap this was. William King, the Mercedes Monet match is not anywhere in sight yet. I think they've got at least one or two between that one. The Wyatt Six, not only are they extremely misused, they were overbooked, overhyped, and underpresented. Oh, we got one more match than Mercedes. I thought we had at least two or three more because it's no, it's 10:30. You're right. We got one more match between that one and Mercedes. Um, I wanted the Wyatt Six to take off. I wanted it to take off, not just for JoJo. I wanted it to take off for JoJo for one thing and her family. But I wanted it to take off because Bray Wyatt himself was actually one of the people that got my dad back passionate about wrestling before he died. And in fact, talk about a turn of just absolute crappy luck. We've been watching the vignettes and the promos leading up to Bray Wyatt actually debuting. Yeah, 6.7. That was getting kind of long and messy. They could have sent that one home 4 or 5 minutes earlier and it wouldn't have missed a damn thing. Um, Bray Wyatt actually got my dad passionate about wrestling again, so much that he was looking forward to it. He died literally on the Friday before Bray Wyatt debuted on Monday. Takeshita, speaking of Jack Perry, Takeshita and Jack Perry getting ready to take the ring right now. Um, I'm of all seriousness, and I'll tell you right now, William. Hang on a minute. I'll be right back. I got to handle this. Just give me a second. And I'm back. Sorry about that. That was a friend of mine calling. They didn't realize I was on stream. I don't tell my friends that I'm streaming. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I wasn't expecting a call because usually gaming night. That was the thing about it. The Wyatt Six, when they first popped out, I thought, well, now maybe they're going to do this right, and then I realized there wasn't going to be a lot of supernatural with it. Obviously, it's not good enough to get what's her face out of maternity leave right now. What do they call her? Lexi Cabrera is her name. Alexa Bliss. Okay, yeah, it wasn't enough to pull Alexa Bliss out of maternity leave. Yeah, William, use Watch Wrestling. If you want to use Watch Wrestling, I think Stampede's got that link too, where you can actually watch it. You can actually watch the match, jump on. And Stampede, if you want to drop that link here, you can do that. They're not gonna come after me because all they're looking for is to see if I've got the show actually playing or not. That's the only thing YouTube's monitoring me for the next 3 months. I have permission to play AEW stuff. Um, yeah, I enjoyed the debut. I got a little bit of a tear out of it, but after that, it just seems to me like they're merch monstering that thing to death. And I think when that thing finally does crash, I'm really honestly waiting for the JoJo tweet at any given time. Now I've been sitting here just kind of on pins and needles, waiting for the JoJo tweet to come after this. And the funny part of it is, I am a very big Karrion Cross fan. I'm a very big Final Testament fan, and even I said for that match the other night with whether it was SmackDown or Raw, I don't remember which one it was, but they were having that big brawl out there. That they should have called an audible in that match. They kept going ahead. They kept going forward with the burial, and they buried him. They buried him in that match. But even I was saying, even though I was a really big fan, and I still am a big fan of New Testament, big Karrion Cross fan, even I said they should have called an audible in that match and let the Wyatt Six go over, because the fans, and they actually got in there and impressed. I'll accept Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas doesn't impress me. Bo Dallas is always going to be Bo Dallas. And I think they're just giving him this spot. If you really want me to be totally honest about it, I think they're just giving him this spot because when Bray Wyatt came back, it was supposed to be to carry Bo Dallas to a passable match and get him over. That was the original reason Bray Wyatt even came back, was to put Bo Dallas over his Uncle Howdy. And, of course, Bray Wyatt hauled off and died. Yeah, and to me, I would have called an audible in that match. I would have called an audible in that match from Gorilla and said, look, I would have hollered at the referee to say, hey, tell Bo they're going over, pass it on to Karrion, you know. I would have called an audible in that match, and I would have had the Wyatt Six go over, even though I'm really just a crazy super fan of the team that actually won the match. That's how badly they're booking them. And really now, even after that right there, that really convinced me that the Wyatt Six is nothing more than a merch monster. And, occasionally you'll catch me going under somebody's post. They're like, who do you think's going to win in this match? And I'll be like, WWE's bank account. The big winner in this match, WWE's bank account. And when it gets to that point, you just got to call it for what it is. Anyway, we got Jack Perry and Takeshita. This ought to be an interesting dichotomy here. This is a Wrestle Dynasty setup right here. And they don't like Jack Perry in New Japan. I figured that part out. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, man, Stampede, if you want to put that link in there, that's fine. They're not going to bust me for that. They're not watching my chat. They're watching to see what I do on that screen right over there. This screen right here. Because normally when I do watch alongs, if you jump into my AEW watch alongs, um, especially for those of y'all who don't have full access to anything, I actually broadcast the AEW show literally like right there on that screen. I was doing it for WWE, and WWE's a bunch of petty little bitches, and we got into it a little bit, and they hit me with a copyright strike. I don't televise PLEs. I don't televise pay-per-views. And I wouldn't do that for New Japan, even if Velvet himself told me I could go ahead and do that. I still wouldn't do it because I won't deprive them of revenue. Now, if it's on regular television, anybody could stumble across in a fucking hospital or, at a bar. Yeah, I'll show that. because it promotes the stuff and all that. But yeah, WWE got their ass up on their shoulders, so I don't do it for that one. But if you jump in for any AEW event except for pay-per-views, you'll definitely see the program playing. So on the one there that's got the snowfall all over it, you'll definitely see the AEW programming there. And Tony Khan's had plenty of um, it's like, yeah, they hit you with copyright strikes out of nowhere, and that really screwed up my YouTube thing. And actually, today is the first day I've been able to stream on YouTube in 2 weeks. And I finally had to tell them, look, I'll just drop my premium membership until you guys turn my access back on. Strangely enough, it came right on when I turned the money off. So, neither here nor there, but yeah. Takeshita just keeps coming up with brand new ways to make matches interesting here. Mm-hmm. Takagi and Takeshita right now are putting on a damn clinic on how you do this stuff. And I'm talking about character work, facial expressions, the whole 9 yards. They are putting on a clinic. Looking good. But yeah, I mean that's kind of how all that stuff rolls out as well. And it's just one of those scenarios where I mean, yeah, and I don't know. I just it just brings back some not so fond memories anytime we discuss stuff like that. I mean, I understand the copyright stuff and I get it. But, AEW much more friendlier to work with. Part of why I enjoy the show is because I can actually have it on here, and some people who don't have access to it actually get to watch it. I pick up a lot of Indian traffic for that. Apparently, AEW doesn't have a presence in India just yet. WWE does. So, looks like we got an all out brawl going on outside here. The one thing I do like about New Japan, oh man, Takeshita is special in the ring. God, he's bad. He's better than great. He's special. I have now seen a lot of Takeshita. I even saw a Defy Takeshita match here like 2 weeks ago. I was doing a watch along with Defy because they have the problem. Um, knew I was going to screw up on this. I knew I was going to have at least one blank tonight. The problem. Marina Shafir. I had to think about that for a second. I was like having a senior moment earlier than being a senior. Marina Shafir was on Defy, and so was Nick Wayne, and it's free. Like I said, once you pay I got Triller. I paid $72 for the whole year. Yeah, Marina Shafir. Um, Next watch along is going to be tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. Um, Probably going to do a review of this show once I get everything laid out in front of me, minus the Mina Shirakawa match. I'll probably do a review of this show here tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, I'll do Monday Night Raw, and I'm deciding whether or not I'm going to cover NXT If NXT's got Julia, Stephanie McClure, or Delta on it, I cover it just because I'm a fan. And then we're doing Dynamite on Wednesday and probably a review of NXT on Wednesday if I cover NXT. And then we'll do a review of Dynamite on Thursday. Then Friday we'll do Rampage and SmackDown. And then Saturday, once again, we'll be around for Collision. So basically, those ones that are going on, I don't cover TNA because I don't have access to Access without spending another $15. And YouTube TV just went up to $82. So yeah, I'm not putting another $15 in there and turning it into a full blown cable bill. I'm just not going to do that. 82 is starting to get to be uncomfortable for me. I'm going to have to figure out a different way. Nice spin there. Jack Perry's selling. And that's another thing Jack Perry has gotten really good at. Jack Perry is like a salesman in the ring. He sells like it's nobody's business. Wow. Whoops. Takeshita is just all that in a bag of chips. The lights just went the fuck out. P.S. Steven. This is why we watch New Japan Wrestling, because every once in a while, I think that was a shoot right there. I think that was a shoot. I'm just going to have to say, I think that was a shoot. Because I saw his eyes roll back in his head, and he was not faking that. That was not part of the kayfabe right there. One thing I like about watching Japanese wrestlers is if you fuck up in the ring too much around a Japanese wrestler, they will jack you up. They will jack you up. If you are not carrying the line, if you're not doing crisp work in there, and if you're making them look bad, they will jack you up. Not enough for 3. Oh no, Takeshita just lit his whole damn world up there, and that was legit. I don't think that was definitely not a thigh slap. That was not a thigh slap move right there. He gave him a headbutt with a forearm on top of it and like turned his lights out. His lights were out for a solid minute and a half. I mean, that's which incidentally is what Io Sky did to Liv Morgan last night when she caught her with that knee. That was one of those you have botched so many times. I'm going to hit the reset button on you for real. Like I said, I hope she didn't break her nose. And Catherine Catherine told us that it's been reported she didn't break her nose, but it damn sure came close. Nice dragon screw on that one. That was a nice crisp move. See now you see how they're tightening up here. Yes, it was that. And I don't know if you noticed this or not, but he sold it, bumped it. The way he sold it, he defied physics when he sold it. That's the whole thing about it. He went sideways on that shot. And we were watching that thing. I've watched that thing like probably 8, 9, 10 times so far. I have yet to figure it out. They hit even harder if you're botching. That's the part of it right there, Stampede. That's what I wanted to point out because, like, the main thing from the main takeaway from last night was the fact that Io Sky lit her up because of all those botches. Because Io's a Joshi. I'm sorry, that one I got right. Io Sky is originally a Joshi, and one of the things about it with those Joshi girls, if you start fucking up, the one that Mercedes Monet was wrestling at either Full Gear or All Out. I want to say, was it Full Gear? That young lady lit her up pretty solid too. I mean, lit her the hell up. There for about 3 to 5 minutes, she was just lighting her the hell up. Those were stiff. That wasn't a work. And what Takeshita just hit him with right there, that thing that Takeshita just hit him with, that was stiff. That wasn't a work. I saw his eyes light up in the back of his head. And that's why the referee was admonishing him, because it's like, damn, he just lit him up right there in about 2 seconds. Now they're starting to pick the pace up. Match is getting cleaner already. Momo Wannabe, yeah, Momo Wannabe. Momo Wannabe lit her up for like a solid 3.5 minutes in that match. And I thought she was going to actually bust her wide open there for a few minutes. If you're botching in a match, or if you're not keeping up, or if you're off script or something like that, they will light your ass up just on general principle. Oh, and a curb stomp right behind it. Not enough for 3 though. Anyway, that was that was a solid shot right there. I thought, man, that was crazy. Mm-hmm. Jack Perry trying to get out of this predicament he's in. Yep, that was a good neck breaker. Now Jack Perry making his way over. But Takeshita, man, he's just like, and as hard as he works, I swear there was a situation, I think it was the week that I watched that Defy show, that if I'm not mistaken, that was like he worked. Yeah, because it was right after Maple Leaf Pro. See, he worked 2 nights in a row at Maple Leaf Pro, worked Saturday and Sunday. Then came and worked Wednesday Dynamite, and then caught an extra match on Rampage, which means he worked 2 matches at Dynamite. Then I caught him on a Thursday on a Triller, just some no-name thing. He was working that show. Then I caught him. That was then we caught Rampage on Friday. Saturday, he worked a Collision because it was taped for Thursday. It was taped on Thursday. So while the Saturday Collision match was going on, immediately after Collision, they had the Defy show. He worked like 5 matches that week. That's another thing I like about these two here. That's another thing that I like about New Japan Pro Wrestling. I like AEW is because they work. I mean, believe it or not, they wrestle a lot. No, Stampede is actually commenting on X. If you look over in the snowfall, it shows up in the snowfall. If you're facing the screen immediately to the left of my screen, he shows up in the comments there. He's over on X. Yeah, but no, Takeshita is an all-world talent. I agree. And Mercedes isn't on yet. They're still finishing up between Takeshita and Jack Perry. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Hang on a minute, William. I'll be right back. Give me a second here. Not enough for the 3. I saw that. Okay, Williams coming in hot. There you go. That's the link that Stampede's working with. But yeah, there it is, coming in hot. I dropped the link in there for you, William. That's the one that I think that Stampede's working with. You can come in at the end of the matches here and you can catch the last ones. Takeshita's a damn good sell too. Takeshita sells are highly underrated. Mm. Mm. Poison Rana. This is a good fight right here. I don't know how Mercedes is going to follow this match. I really don't. Mm. Big. I have no idea how Mercedes is going to follow this match. It's not going to be easy. Don't let Tony see Suji for too long. He'll be snagging him up before you know it. Oof. That's just what we needed was a ref bump. And then there's the Psycho knee, 1 and 2, and Jack Perry closing that match out. Yes, he does. Yeah. I was gonna say, don't let Tony see that for too long. He'll be putting a contract on him too, in a good way. So yeah, Jack Perry and Takeshita pick up the match, pick up the win there. That Psycho knee thing from Jack Perry kind of sealed it for him there. But yeah, like I said, don't let Tony see Yoda for too long, man. He'll put a contract on him in a heartbeat. Especially after that shit they just put in the ring right here. That was cool. That was good. Takagi went and hit the wrong person. Oops. Now, see, that's what I'm saying. That's good storytelling right there, too, on top of it. He thought it was Takeshi and it was his own partner. I mean, that's hilarious if you ask me. So, I got his attention. The Super Kick King. Are we kidding ourselves? The freaking Young Bucks are here. Are you serious? Damn. Every time he shows up, he gets more pearls to go with that damn necklace. EVP trigger. Dang, man. The Young Bucks just coming out of nowhere, man. Jack Perry and the Bucks got heat now. Yeah, the Young Bucks just out of nowhere deciding they want to crash the party. Give me about 20 seconds. I'll be right back here. I just want to rest my voice for a second. I'm going to leave the audio going. I'll be right back. I'm back. Thank you. Um, so the Young Bucks make an appearance. It's out of nowhere. Oh, that's that link if you actually want to watch the match. That's where everybody else is watching it for the free link. That way you got it, William. That's why I threw that out there for you. I know. Yeah, that is notable. All right, William. Here comes Mercedes Monet. That's why I dropped that link for you so you could actually watch the match. All right. Yeah, I remember that match last month. That was the first New Japan. That's the first New Japan show that I covered. There we go. The build up for this match has been good. I hope the delivery is just as good. I really do. I hope this match delivers. It's a lot going into it. Yeah, there's a lot going into this. I hope it delivers. We're going to be hanging out with it right here. And of course, hey, it is what it is. Looks like we're getting out of here about 11:30 tonight Eastern. Not bad. Not bad overall. 3.5 hours. Not bad. No breaks. Not a whole bunch of stuff going on there. So Azuki's making her way to the ring now, and of course Mercedes Monet will probably be the last entrant tonight. Checking to see if there's any kind of news going on here, anything that's newsworthy. Let's see here. See here, I got to throw a post out real quick here. Let's see here. And of course, while we're at it, and of course, while we're at it, Commander said thank you for all the birthday wishes he got today. Hey, we're sitting at 46. Let's see if we can get to 50 by the end of this show. Just for the heck of it. Let's see if we can get to 50. 50 would be a good number. Considering this is a New Japan show and it's not even AEW or WWE, that says an awful lot. I will say this too, Mercedes always steps up her gear game for New Japan. I wish she'd put I'm just saying I'm just spitballing this. I do wish that we could get some of that in AEW as well. But she definitely steps her gear game up for New Japan. So yeah. I'm sort of hesitant to say big fight feel here just yet. Before this thing is close to being over, I just want to make sure that I thank everybody who's been here. Um, I want to say thank you for hanging out with us tonight. This has been a blast. I'd like to do this on a regular basis. Not even kidding. Like I said, we'll be doing Wrestle Dynasty in January. People think I'm nuts for doing a 2-day tournament first part of January, but you know what? I might even throw some live reviews in there for Wrestle Dynasty because I got a feeling. I don't know. I got a feeling that at least Covalent TV is going to be doing something for Wrestle Dynasty. I think I'm going to be. Yep. Here comes the New Japan Strong Women's title here. Suzuki and Mercedes Monet. Well, I will say this, though, Steven. Mercedes usually turns it up pretty heavy for New Japan. And as far as the AEW stuff, um, how to word this? For people who say that I'm not that critical of AEW, um, Britt Baker's a tool. Okay, Britt Baker's a tool, and that started a lot of this. Mercedes Monet is a decent wrestler in about 8 different languages. So sometimes she comes off as flat, and sometimes she comes off as overproduced. And I got a feeling that this match right here is going to be underproduced, but it's still going to over deliver. I'm kind of hoping that the Hazuki match is going to sell like it did last month. I watched Hazuki work. And I'm just hoping she's got the same energy left from last month, and I'm hoping Mercedes has got the correct amount of energy here too. Because if they do, this has a chance to be a cheat code. And the fact that they're main eventing with women's wrestling on New Japan, this is not necessarily uncharted territory for New Japan, but falling in with the trend, at least like I said, they got Hazuki and Mercedes Monet. That's not a bad trend to be working with right there. And just to be honest with you, Steven, Mercedes Monet's the one that got Stephanie McCour hired. That match with her and Stephanie McCour was just absolutely off the chain. That's what got Stephanie McCour hired at WWE. So, I mean, that one was not a bad match. That one was not a bad match. It was just underrated. And it was in what they call the cold spot, which is usually if you're working an AEW pay per view. Now, Tony's backed off on the match content a little bit since Forbidden Door, and I don't blame him. But if you're working like Forbidden Door and it had like 15 or 16 matches in it total, Mercedes Monet was in match number 13, so it wasn't even the one before the main event. That's what they call the cold match or the cool off match. Oh, okay. I don't know how to work it, William. I just know that's what everybody else is watching. So maybe Steven can talk you through it. I don't know. I don't know. I actually bought the match on Triller, so we start off with that. But yeah, no, I mean basically oh, fell right into the bank statement. Statement maker. I'm sorry. They call it statement maker in New Japan, but she literally dropped into the bank statement. That was pretty damn good. Hey, she made it to the ropes. Good, good. Yeah, American matches and Japanese matches. And to be honest with you, I'm starting to get more into the progress matches now. Even the British strong style hits like this, which is why Gabe Kidd fixed so well in New Japan. The British strong style isn't that far off from the Japanese. Oh, okay. So, yeah. Nice. Oh. Yeah, that strong style that the British have going on now is pretty damn good too. Uh oh. Damn. Flying Meteora right there. Now it's nothing but knees. I will say this though, the little Japanese wrestler, the little Japanese referee right there, he real demonstrative. A little more than normal, but I get it. That's another thing too. Nobody really cares how demonstrative the refs are. The refs actually can get involved in this pretty well. For sure. Yet another power slam. Not enough for three, though. Not enough for three. But yeah, plus it's getting late. I'm getting tired. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I was up till I had sound problems yesterday. I couldn't do my watch along yesterday, and then I got offered a spot on a big show, and I'm like, well, at least I'll make up. I'll make up for what I didn't do today on that. No, 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 that didn't work either. So soon as that show went off, I went back to the lab and just started working on tearing down the computer, the whole 9 yards, because I like doing the watch alongs and I need my computer to perform. So I got into tearing down the computer and everything. About 3 o'clock in the morning, I figured out I was a little too tired to do that. Still woke up at 8 o'clock this morning. I think it's going to probably go at least till the half. I don't know if it'll go the full to the top of the hour, but I know we're definitely going to the 30 mark here. Damn. Is that knocked the bead out of her hair? So yeah, I was up till 3 o'clock this morning working on the sound issue, and then I woke up at 8:30 against my will, and couldn't go back to sleep. So I got back to working on it again. I fixed the sound issue by noon. I had to try a little bit of everything because the one thing that I'm not a big fan of with Streamlabs is when it fucks up, it fucks up. And by the way, we've got 51 viewers, and you know what? That gets the big one. Thank you all for that. I really appreciate it. 51's a good number. I love it. Let me see here. Let me make sure I'm not looking at anything. There shouldn't be any reason for anything here. And I know New Japan is a lot like AEW. They're not gonna give me a hard time. Plus, the guy on commentary and I are friends. So, excuse me. Not enough for three though. Yeah, I think we're definitely gonna make it to the 30 mark. I would not be surprised if we made it to the hour because, unlike in a lot of other promotions, New Japan, AEW, they'll wrestle 35 minutes. If the crowd's into it, they'll do it. They'll happily do it. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Oh, and by the way, the other part of it here, Stephen, is these women run. These women here have speed. These women right here have speed. Hazuki. And we're 10 minutes into the match now as it is. Can't win the title by count out there. You better go get her. Oh, I'm sorry. No. 20. 20's the count. And apparently the title does change hands on account out here. So I was unaware of that. See, I learned something. I never see a situation like this. I don't watch enough New Japan to get to this situation. Yeah, New Japan is 20. Yeah, I mean, New Japan's a 20 count regardless of whether there's a title or not. New Japan is that. I just didn't realize that the title could change hands on a count out. Normally, you've got to pin them in every other promotion. Nothing changes hands on a count out, disqualification, or anything like that. So I'm kind of curious if not, if they get themselves intentionally disqualified. I'm wondering if title changes hands like that too. Mercedes is trying hard not to tap. Ah, rolled through it. There you go. ROH is a 20 count too. Yeah, I forgot about that because I don't watch a lot of ROH either. I'm getting ready to change that up. If they don't get a TV deal by February, I'm picking the channel up because there's a lot of good shit happening in ROH and I want to be part of that. Not even playing. I want to be a part of that. I was going to try to jump heavy on TNA, but like I said, they've been kind of eh, not bad. They're not doing bad. I'm not mad at them. I'm not going to give them any kind of a bad review or anything like that. But I traded in TNA for Ring of Honor, so Ring of Honor is on my target too. Always like it when they get into exchanging elbows because this is the part right here where you can look up and break somebody's nose accidentally. I'm kidding about getting the nose broken part, but I like the idea of some solid fighting like men do things, instead of that slappy shit that a lot of other people do. Whoa! And it looks like Mercedes Monet's putting it to her. Oh, that was out of nowhere. Look out. We might get the three amigos out of this one. Strangely enough, the crowd is kind of solidly behind Mercedes, which is kind of weird because that's the other best part of it. These people work like two different things right now. Yeah, they are laying in those forearms. I know that. Yeah, that was good to watch right there. It really was. I enjoyed it. Ah, Not enough for 3, though. 2.5. That was close. That's what I missed. The Anna J match. And as if you needed another reason to give um come on, literally, Matt, come on. Just in case you needed to give need another reason to give Adam Pierce hell, he's a Packers fan on top of that. Oh my God. She's going for the brain buster off the second rope. This is going to be freaking phenomenal if she pulls this off. If she pulls this spot off right here, this is going to be phenomenal. Nope, just went with a regular superplex. And not enough for 3. Yeah, I know. They said he was going for the brain buster and just turned it into a regular old superplex. And still back into the bank statement. Well, whatever they're calling it. We call it a cross space. We call it a bank statement. We call it all kinds of stuff. I truly believe Mercedes Monet could lose this match. I'm starting to act. Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. I thought it was going for it, and then I realized she turned it into a regular old superplex. And it's honestly starting to look like Mercedes could lose this match. The way the booking looks. I don't think this New Japan crowd's going to fall for the fruit roll up, though. I just don't believe so. I don't believe this crowd's going to take a fruit roll up out of nowhere. That's what I'm saying. I don't think this crowd's going to buy a fruit roll up after all this. Meteor out of nowhere. Not enough for 3. Daggone, man. No, just the deeper we get into this match, Steven, I'm starting to kind of get a vibe where they might actually have her going over. But see, I don't know the ref ticks for this. If I knew the ref ticks for it, I'd know what's going on. The referees have ticks or tells. Referees have tells when they get the go home or when they get a title flip or something like that. A lot of referees have tells. And I'm not picking up on the tells from this referee, obviously because he doesn't speak English. And the other part of it too is he's so visibly demonstrative to begin with. He's so vividly demonstrative to begin with. It's like, I don't know. Referee's a hard read on this one. Ooh, code breaker off the mid second rope there. Not enough for 3. They are selling the hell out of this match. But I still don't think it's overproduced at this point. I think it's underproduced. It's underproduced and it's over delivering. At this stage of the game, it's underproduced and it's over delivering at this point. Let's see here. Not enough for 3 again. All right, this here might actually. That's just it, Steven. I don't know. It just keeps feeling like there's a feel of it, but I can't read the ref. Never mind. There it is. Not enough for a 3, but yeah, no, that was the fix was in on that one. They are definitely putting on a cheat code of a match, that's for sure. Backstabber one more time. Let's see if she can get this to go. Another one. That might come back to bite her right there. Oh, never mind. She's going straight into the statement maker. She's going to finish like that. And the foot on the rope. They are telling a good damn story in this match. They are telling a damn good story in this match. Yeah, Win or lose right here. I'm not 100% sure that Tony's not about to put a contract on Hazuki, to be honest with you, because they've wrestled for quite a while. Flipped it into a, what do we got? Not enough for 3. Another one. Money maker. 1, 2, and 3. Mm. That's the kind of match you need a cigarette after. Don't quote me on that, but you know, hey, that was good. That was really good. Wow. And it's really late. All right, let's see who Mercedes' next challenger is going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, that was about a 30-minute match right there, and I figured that was what they were going to get. Boy, Mercedes Moné, she just put it out there tonight, didn't she? But hey, hats off to Azuki on that one, man. That was a classic right there. That's going to be a match of the year candidate right there. Oh my God. Thank you, Steven. Get some rest. I'm getting ready to do the same myself here in just a minute. About to crash out on this stream. Thanks for hanging out with me, Steven, man. That was really cool. Appreciate you, man. Come on back. We'll be here tomorrow, every day after that, you know? It is what it is. And, it turned out to be later than what I figured. I figured we'd be done by 11. Apparently not. That's okay, though. Have a good night's rest and everything else. Yeah, hats off to them. Yeah, both women did just, this was phenomenal. Now we're getting a promo out of Mercedes, too. Have a good rest, Catherine. Yeah, I'm on the East Coast. And Inglewood always up to no good, I know. Yeah, she broke her ankle. I remember that. Whoever it is going to need to carry a passable match after that one. Is that Mina? That sure as hell is. So Mina Shirakawa stepping up to Mercedes Moné going after the New Japan Strong Championship. That's correct. That's going to be a killer match too, by the way. hmm Everybody wants Mina. Mina's English is getting better and better every time. Her English wasn't that bad when I actually met Mina at WrestleCade. Had a good little talk as well. Ooh, title versus title again. Somebody's about to be a belt collector. That is correct. And on that note, as it's getting later and later and later in the evening, oh my goodness gracious. Ouch. All right, so they're closing out tonight with a hello, and yeah, both titles on the line. Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna get Mina Shirakawa and Mercedes Monet at Wrestle Dynasty, title versus title, title versus title. And on that happy note, we're gonna be checking out for the night because I am way past my bedtime. I'm kidding, I'm not, but you get the idea. So we have 51 viewers. I think we had more than that at one point in time, though. It's definitely great. See you tomorrow for Raw. You guys have a great evening. I'm gonna crash out. Good night. God bless, and good night, American, and good night, UK, wherever you are. You have a good evening. We'll see you tomorrow.